Yo, what is up everyone, and welcome back to another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle video with your host Kenkukun. I've been using Broly a lot, like a lot. I've been using him a lot. I think Broly is a very decent unit. I think Broly is what the Extreme team needs, but he needed to be better. He's good. He has everything he has everything you would want a unit for an Extreme team to have. He just it's just it's like they gave him so much they didn't really make him good enough for one specific thing, right? And that's fine because there are units that can do it all and they're good. Point in case, LR Boma. I'm gonna go back to LR Boma a lot. She changes orbs, she supports for multiple turns, she guards and for X amount of turns, and she reduces damage received that increases over time. That's a phenomenal unit that's aged very well, can still be used today, is getting buffed now in today's atmosphere with some of the super units that have come out. And then we have Imp Broly. He guards conditionally, he supports conditionally, he orb changes conditionally, right? He has a domain that also buffs and supports conditionally. He has damage reduction unconditionally 60%, and he can revive conditionally, right? Now, the reviving conditionally, I don't hate, but he's the one that has to revive. So it's like a condition on a condition. We have to wait 5 turns, and then he has to revive. Like, it's his revival that triggers. Now, I won't spend too much time talking about Broly, but I think this is probably one of the strongest teams you can run Broly on. Now, first and foremost, I'm going to swap a couple of these units out because that's not exactly the team I'm going to be using. Let me go ahead and get his... Do I remember his category? Revenge, Planetary Destruction, yep. And Uncontrollable Power. We definitely do. Now, we do want to bring some Uncontrollable Power units in here. So I do have Hirudegarn. We're going to be taking Paragus off. Now, I was running this team just to see what kind of stats Broly was going to get with multiple support units. Still not great, all right? But he is Uncontrollable Power, so we're going to put him on the team. Bam. And we are going to be against the Goku family unit. We're going to be fighting Gohan and Piccolo. Now, Gohan and Piccolo, phases 1 and 2, don't start too tough. It's phases 3 and 4 that we're going to kind of simulate the Goku and Frieza fight to an extent, right? With heavy-hitting bosses and locking, and a locking boss, right? So we're going to kind of simulate what we could be running into. We'll have sound when we start the fight because copyrighted music. We're going to bring in Boo as well. Now, I don't really want to keep Kid Boo on the team for this fight. I think Kid Boo can get cooked pretty hard. So you're kind of taking your pick. You can run AGL LR Broly if you want. Now AGL LR Broly does get defense. And what I do like, and we will run Broly. What I do like about AGL Broly is the fact that you can run Broly and benefit from his kit, right? Now, the domain's going to be an issue, right? Now, the domain's going to be an issue. We're going to be rocking Int Broly's domain, which is going to hurt AGL Broly, right? So, I think this is one of his strongest teams. Now, if you have LR Cell Max, Now, if you have LR Cell Max 1000% goes on this team. He belongs on this team. So, what is good? What is good about Int Broly right now? When you run double of him, and I prefer to run 2 of him, he's not the greatest unit out there. And compared to the super units, bro, he just falls short, right? But I prefer to run double Imp Broly's because we can drop a domain early in case we need to get our rotations kind of set. And then we can drop a domain later, right? So let's go ahead and drop a domain early. Alright, so Broly's domain. Uncontrollable power category. Enemies and allies. Attack and defense plus 15%. Which is pretty good. He also is gonna gain guard for himself, which is very valuable, right? It's gonna help us make sure we're gonna be safe going through. Now I could have put Hirudegarn in slot 1, but I think I'm just gonna have Hirudegarn sit in a floating role for the most part. Now this is 55% Hirudegarn, but no big bad bosses around for him to like benefit. Like, one of the things I like about Fat Boo is we don't need a big bad bosses for Fat Boo, right? And we don't need a big bad bosses for the Brolys. One of the things I hate is, you know, if I run Hirudegarn or Kid Boo, especially Kid Boo, and we don't get big bad bosses from that, you know, they're going to be looking a little bit weaker, right? So he also increases damage received by superclass enemies and allies by 15%, plus an additional 10% for characters who also belong to movie heroes, right? So he's given a 15% boost. He is gaining guard. He is now key sphere changing, right? And now his attacks are effective against all types for the rest of the battle because we, what is it, landed an attack or just attack? I want to read this very specifically. Performs an attack. Okay, because we just attacked. All right. That was now Tech Broly shreds. Tech Broly shreds.
Stop it, Broly! No!
Now, Int Fat Boo did not get his intro because Int Fat Boo doesn't have another Majin power on the team. What we're going to do, though, we're going to have... Please don't get stunned right away. We're going to have Int Majin Buu as our slot 1 unit for a little bit, right? Well, I guess I should have actually put Broly there. Because if we get supered immediately, Broly would have got stunned, not Fat Boo. Unfortunate. Alright, now Boo's not going to stack, so that's a misplay on my part. I should have put Broly there, because I don't care if he gets stunned. Oh, it's sealed. Okay. That would have been even better, because Broly would have still gotten effective against all types, and then Boo would have stacked. Now, one of the reasons I say this is one of the best teams for Broly is because you have 3 characters that can revive on the team. You have Boo, which himself has to get hit and defeated for him to revive, but it's a revive that can happen early on, at any point in time, and it's going to be beneficial, right? And then you have... I'm going to talk over this guy's intro. I don't care about it. Then you have Broly himself, in Broly's domain, or sorry, his revive, which can happen later in the game, which is going to be more beneficial because a lot of these units are uncontrollable power, and they are going to benefit from getting these 60% to attack and defense on buff, right? So, all right, this is the final turn for the domain. What we're going to do here is, again, we can float AGL Broly. We can float. We don't necessarily need his domain. It's not necessary for him to deal damage when Tech Broly exists. Easy A Tech Broly. He's going to, you know, raise defense for 4 turns, so even if you float him, you're going to benefit from this. He's going to get a lot of defense here. He's still going to be guarding. His guard is Wait, Wyatt? Yeah, I don't know why I was looking at that one. His guard is unconditionable. Alright, his guard is unconditional. Guards all attacks, period. That's good. So we're going to put him in the floating role is what we're going to do here. Man, I mean, we healed. We healed a lot right there. I can't even lie about that. That was a good chunk of a good chunk of healing. All right, let's go ahead and let Imp Broly make sure he gets his 18 key super. Well, Imp Broly might not even get, or sorry, AGL Broly might not even get to attack because Easy A Tech Broly is probably gonna destroy Piccolo. All right, that's guard and 60% damage reduction. That's pretty good. Now, I say that's pretty good, but Piccolo, this one doesn't hit hard. It's like a million, right? Phase 1 and Phase 2 of this fight are like million damage supers, and they don't have enough health. A lot of the bosses on Global right now, they either don't have enough health, but they deal the damage necessary to kind of test your characters, or they deal a lot of damage, or they have a lot of health, but they don't deal a lot of damage, like stuff like that, right? So we have to get a little bit deeper into some of these fights. Now, I was going to do Gogeta Blue, but why I didn't do Gogeta Blue was because we can lower his attack, and I don't want to bring in any unit that would lower his attack. I just don't. All right, did anyone get locked? No. All right, now Piccolo, 50% chance to lock, so we did not get locked. We got lucky. Now this is where I have to decide, do I want to drop the other domain right here, right now? Or not? I'm going to say let's not, just so we can see what kind of, like, unit we're going to have. We're going to put him in slot 2. He's not... Oh, man. Hirudegarn, please. He's not really a slot 1 unit. Now, Hirudegarn, without his domain, he's not slot 1. And even with his domain, you probably want him to revive first. Now, Boo is also on Uncontrollable Power. Hirudegarn is on Uncontrollable Power. AGL Broly. Like, the whole team. This is the whole Uncontrollable Power team. The category is really, really good. There's a lot of units that do fit under that category. All right, here's Piccolo. Boo. He's going to get hit very hard. Huh. There's a chance that Hirudegarn fails us right there in the final slot. He has to dodge everything, or he doesn't revive. Additional super? Oh, man. Nice. Nice. All right, cool. We make it to turn 5. And now we are primed with any of the Int Brolys to revive us. And we have a domain in our pocket, right? So now the goal is to just get as far as we can without dying, right? Like, it's not that we want to use his revive. It's that it's there to be used. Now, in tougher fights, it's gonna get used. It's just gonna get used, right? But now we're gonna be putting ourselves in a very powerful position. Let's go ahead and get this in here. Alright, so Int Broly himself is underwhelming. He's what the villains need, but he's still underwhelming. However, his team has a lot of different pieces and a lot of different places for everyone to work, right? Tech, LR, Carnival Broly, right? Tech, LR, Carnival Broly. He's a slot 1 unit for turn 1, turn 2, and turn 3. For his first 3 turns, he is definitively slot 1, and there are going to be instances where you can actually get away and keep him in base a little bit longer depending on the health of the enemy. You have LR, Easy A Tech Broly on the team, and there's going to be times where you're just going to obliterate the enemy and not have to worry about it, right? So also, we floated him. It's turn 5 and we're finally seeing this Broly again. I forgot he was even on the team, and now when we don't have the domain but we do have the revive and we're trying not to die, we can just slap him right here in slot 1. Bam. Job done. It's over. Slot 1 is protected. And then we do that for slot 2. And guess what? When slot 3 comes along, Piccolo's done. Again, Piccolo is not the strongest boss out there. His HP bar is not very crazy either. So now next turn we're going to have AGL Broly, which we could drop his domain instead. We could just put that out there, have him transform. We have another pretty powerful unit on the field. Another unit that has proven himself in slot 1, but he's not a true slot 1 unit, not like that Tech Broly is, and Int Broly with his domain up is a better slot 1 unit. Again, because you can use 2 of them, right? It's because I can fill the team up with multiple slot 1 characters that are gonna, you know, that are gonna have their place in time where it's a do or die moment for them in different events across JP and Global right now. Global is just a little bit behind. We're missing the God of Destruction events. We're missing the Goku and Frieza stage, and then whatever's before that. But we have Int Hirudegarn, a decent slot 1 unit. Int Majin Buu can be a slot 1 unit and has the revive in his back pocket. Tech LR Broly, slot 1 unit. Int LR Broly with his domain can be a slot 1 unit. Granted, you know, depending on what you're fighting. So, again, he's an underwhelming unit overall, but his whole team works. It's not like you just put Beast Gohan on the team and you carry all these bums through. Unfortunately, it's not that easy, right? And even Beast Gohan has his limits to carrying people, where bosses can crit, AoE bosses, he can't protect you against that, right? There are places where Beast Gohan is still very, very good, but he can only protect the team 1 time. Broly and his revive can only protect the team 1 time, but it's anyone, anytime, any place, right? Not just during the active skill, which I would say is much more valuable. And then here we go, bam, just like this. I don't even need the revive. I don't have to revive here if I don't want to. We will go ahead and get the revive. Now, a lot of people are displeased with Broly, and I'm not overly pleased. I'm trying to put into perspective that Broly is, again, what the villain team needs. It's just he needed to be better himself, right? He either needed guard forever, or he needed orb changing forever, or support. I think he should have just gotten all of that stuff all the time. Personally, especially the guard. I think if the guard was permanent, he wouldn't be as bad. Once you get hit with your domain, or let's make it like Goku exchange into Gohan. Give him a reason to go into slot 1, right? Or wherever the most attacks are. Have him get hit 5 times while his domain is up, and he gains guard permanently. Now we have guard, 60% damage reduction. He's going to have a revive. He's going to orb change at a later time. He's going to have all the necessary tools we need for him to be a really good unit going forward, right? The only way to make him better himself is if he would have additional supers. Additional supers. Now, I'm going to say something that a lot of people may or may not agree or disagree with after this active skill.
Where do you think you're going? I'm preparing the rocket so he can escape the explosion! And a rocket built for 1 person.
Okay, so, Broly's defense, let's talk about that for a moment, yeah? We finally revive, right? Now, I don't know if Broly's defense kicked in or not. I don't know. We will know next turn. But Broly's defense is, I would say, a little bit underwhelming for a Dokkan Fest LR. The average defense of a unit right now in Dokkan this year in 2024 is the lowest I've seen. Super easy A's and easy A's, a lot of super easy A's especially, is like 800k defense. And AGL Goku has 30% dodge, other units have damage reduction, dodge, you know, stuff like that, right? The highest I usually see on average is 1.2 million defense, and I would say that's average with some of the Dokkan Fest, some of the LRs, or some of the super easy A's, right? As a Dokkan Fest LR, I'm okay as long as if this guy was hitting 1.5 million defense, I would be fine with that. I don't know what his defense calcs are. I haven't calced him myself. I know he massively raises. He just whatever his defense is, you multiply it by 2 because that's what he's getting when he attacks, right? With the super attack effect. Now, he doesn't get extra defense when attacking, but he does get defense when getting hit. So you apply that immediately, right? So, which is actually after. Well, I'm not gonna. I don't care about the calc at the moment. I'm not gonna say it's after he super attacks, wherever it falls, right? It's gonna be 60% defense, which is still gonna be pretty good. It's the 60%. So he falls with his defense falls within the average of a 2024 Dokkan unit for the most part. The average, right? But not the average of some of them. LR easy. Evolution Blue Vegeta. Bro, that defense is bananas. And I'm just gonna leave it at that. It's bananas. And I have nothing else to say on it. Now we don't have the domain up, so I'm a little bit concerned. And Hirudegarn, we're gonna go ahead and transform him. Oh man, that OST, bro. As soon as that comes to the Dokkan Music Shop, I'm getting it. Bro's got like a choir singing him down from the great skies, man. What the heck? He definitely sounds like a monster. All right, and here we go. We're at Beast Gohan. Beast Gohan can double super. This could be our final turn right here, right now. We could lose because Imp Broly gets super attack. We don't have a domain. He doesn't have guard, and I don't think that 60% to stats are there quite yet. He's a Rainbow Broly. I think he should be floating closer to 400k defense with that 60%, right? But I'm not 100% certain on that. So my Broly is 100%. I'm giving him all additional. I want him to additional super more than anything else on this planet for Dokkan Battle. And of course, he's the one that and this is what you know, why he's gonna feel underwhelming. Look at this. You know, ooh, he took the same super twice. We made it through. I mean, is that underwhelming? Is that underwhelming? Hirudegarn, please do not fail this run, please. What is Gohan hitting for? I need to see. Triple super. I went and gave this guy additionals, by the way. Didn't I? No, I gave Boo additionals. I do need to give this guy additionals. Let's go. Real quick, let me pause. Let me pull up Beast Gohan stats. All right, here we go. First defense check, 316. Yeah, I'm almost certain we didn't have the extra 60% defense. Let's go ahead and drop the domain. I'm just gonna talk over him for a moment. Gohan has a 2.4 million super attack and then a 2.4 million super attack. So we took 2 of those bad boys, and then he gets attack 50% up when he super attacks. He took a massive amount of damage, and he ate it, and we lived. Barely, but we lived. Now, that was a Rainbow Broly. My Broly would not have lived. He probably would have been cooked and discarded. Now, we're going to put him in slot 1. Let Beast Gohan try that again. Please. Make my day, bro. Make my day. I'm so confident in this turn, I'm not even going to activate this Broly's, active skill. Now, I am going to say another thing that people are probably not going to like. When we talk about these units and how they perform, we have to remember the game is designed with items in mind. Not with items not with no item in mind. Yes, there are some missions that come out that say, hey, do this with no items. Absolutely. But they're usually either not the toughest events that are out there, or it's not an impossible task for the majority of players to complete. All right, so right then and right there, I'm gonna say that we have to keep that in mind. A lot of stuff is, a lot of the units are built around using items, using support memories. At the same time, Broly seems just slightly underwhelming. Maybe after I see his calcs, maybe I go look at his calcs, I might change my tune. But just, if that guard somehow became a permanent thing, I think he would be very, very good. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I think he is underrated right now. People are underrating this Broly heavily. I'm not going to say that they're wrong. I think he should be a little bit better. I think if that guard was permanent, that's exactly what we need. Now, what do we need? We need an unconditional... I need a 2-turn support unit. If I get a 2-turn support unit on this team somewhere, anywhere, this team is probably top line. It's a top line team. It's a top line team. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Enjoy your night, evening, morning, whatever it may be. Peace out. And I will see you guys next time.